Hello, good morning, everyone. Today we are delighted to have a group presentation. We are from Group D. Here are our group members: myself, Milan, and Sudarshan Chaudhary, Sabin Pakrel, Rubin Guru, and Simran Singh. So we are going to have a presentation on the case analysis Tran v Financial Debt Recovery Limited. Today we will explore the landmark case of Tran v Financial Debt Recovery Limited, a pivotal decision in the realm of debt collection law. This case not only sheds light on the legal boundaries of debt recovery practices but also sets a significant precedent for consumer protection. We will begin by examining the factual background of the case, including the actions of Financial Debt Recovery Limited that led to the dispute. Next, we will discuss on legal issues at stake, focusing on the court's interpretation of key status and regulations. Finally, we will analyze the judge's reasoning and the broader implications of ruling, which has reshaped the debt collection industry and reinforced the right of consumers. By the end of this presentation, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of why Tran v Financial Debt Recovery Limited remains a cornerstone in the modern debt recovery law. Let's have a look on introduction. This case involves Mark Tran as the plaintiff and Financial Debt Recovery Limited as a defendant. It was heard at the Ontario Superior Court of Justice on November 10, 2000. The key focus of this case is harassment by a debt collection agency and the legal consequences of such actions. The outcome of this case has significant implications for how debt collection practices are regulated and how individuals are protected from abusive behavior. So now we're going to have a look on facts of the case or a background. Mark Tran, a recent graduate, had taken out a student loan to fund his education. After a period of unemployment, he resumed making payments but encountered issues with when his loan was transferred to the government. The defendant, a Financial Recovery Limited, engaged in the highly inappropriate conduct, including the repeated harassment through abusive phone calls to Tran's workplace. They made false statement to Tran's employer, claiming he was applying for other jobs and had significant debt. Additionally, the agency used threat and defamatory remarks, creating a highly stressful and damaging situation for Trans. These actions from the basis of plaintiff's claims in this case. So rest of the slides will be followed by my friend Sabin. Thank you.
In this slide, I am going to talk about the procedural history. On April 17, 2000, Mark Tran filed a legal case under the simplified rules, which is a faster legal process for smaller cases. He accused that the debt collecting company of defamation. They spread false information about him and harassment. They keep calling and pressuring him in an aggressive way. Emotional distress. Their action caused him stress and mental suffering. On the other side, the debt collecting company denied everything, but surprisingly, they didn't take any legal action to claim the money that they said Mark owned. This means the case wasn't all about whether he still had to pay his loan. It was only about how the company treated him. In this slide, I am going to talk about the key issue in this case. The court had decided on the four main things. The first one is defamation. Did the company false statement hurt Mark Tran's reputation? The second one is emotional harm. Did their action cause him stress and suffering? Third one is economic loss. Did their behavior action
So I'm going to explain about slide 8, which is court's decision, in which the court ruled in favor of Mark Tran, and the debt collection company had done knew that they had done something wrong with the agreement, and the company also found guilty for defamation, for spreading false information about Mark Tran, and also it caused emotional harm, which caused him stress and suffering, and also economic interference affecting his job and income. and it also caused invasion of his privacy, uh, and which violated the right of his own personal matters private. And so because of all the judges ordered the company to pay Mark Tran $40,000 in damages, which includes $20,000 for defamation, for hurting his reputation, and $10,000 for emotional harm for his stress and suffering, and $10,000 for economic loss, which is for losing income because of their action. And this was a big win for Mark Tran, and so it showed that debt collectors cannot harass or defame people without facing legal consequences. So the next slide is why court made this decision. So the court explained the ruling by breaking down mainly into 3 points, which is defamation, which is the debt collection company which told lies about Mark Tran to his employer, and which hurt his reputation, which is why the court ruled that it was defamation. And the next point is emotional harm. The company intentionally harassed him. They had no good reason to do this, and it caused him stress and anxiety. So the court said that they were guilty of inflicting emotional damages. And the last point is economic interference, which was because of their actions disrupted Mark's work, and also because of their false statement his job and income were affected. That's why the court ruled that they interfere with their financial situation. Thank you.
In this slide, I am going to talk about the rational defamation. So the court found that the debt collection company was guilty of the defamation, and here is why. First, they spread false information about Mark Tran to his employer. They said things that were not true, and that's a big deal. When someone spread lie about you, especially to the people who you work with, it can seriously hurt your reputation, and that is exactly what happened here. Mark's employer and co-worker might have started doubting him, thinking less of him, even though he didn't do anything. On top of that, the company had no proof to back up what they were saying. If they had some kind of proof, then they can show in the court as evidence, but they could not. It clearly shows that they were just making things up. Because of this, the court ruled that the Mark was defamed, and he deserved compensation for the damage of his reputation.
Hello, my name is Rubin Guru. So I'm gonna talk about the emotional harm. So in this case, the court looked at how the defendant's actions affected Tran's feelings. They found that the defendant purposely caused Tran a lot of stress and sadness without a good reason. This kind of behavior is called intentional infliction of emotional distress. Because of this, the court decided that Tran should receive money to make up for the emotional pain he suffered. So now I'm gonna talk about another slide, which is economic interference. So the court also examined how the defendant's actions impacted Tran's finances. They discovered that the defendant intentionally disrupted Tran's business activities, leading to a loss of income. This is known as intentional interference with prospective economic relations. As a result, the court awarded Tran additional compensation for the money he lost due to the defendant's actions. Thank you.
So I'll be speaking about the two slides in this presentation, slide number 12 and slide number 13. I'll start with the 12 first. So these are some question answers. So the first question is, why did the court amend the danger of $25,000? The court amended the danger of $25,000 to reflect the train and the actual harm, including defamation and emotional distress, within the simplified rules maximum limit. Next question is, what legal principles support the tariff of invasion of privacy? Case law like Motherwell supports the right to be free from
instructive conduct, especially in the debit collection. The third question is, how did the defend violation the collect agencies act? The answer for this is the defendant violation the act by harassing Trans, providing false info to his employer, and conducting his workplace without justification. The next one is conclusion. We'll start with the key takeaways. Ethical rules, together with the legal requirement from the foundation of compliances with the debit collection agencies, harassments along with the defamation bringing suitable consequences under the law. Through legal protection, courts shield people of emotional distress and economic abuse to abuse and danger their reputation. So, with the final thought, I'll say the matter defamations why institutes must stay responsible when collecting debits. Thank you. That's it for today.